And I am also a co-host alongside Ms. Cox and Cyan.
All right. And we want to welcome you to what?
Junior Black Achievers.
Yes, our meeting. We are celebrating Black History Month, ladies and gentlemen. But first, let's get some shout outs, y'all.
Shout out to Desert Springs Middle School.
Anybody here from Desert Springs Middle School?
I am.
Shout out. All right. Who else we have in the house?
Shout out to James Workman Middle School.
Hey, James Workman in the house. We're glad to see you. All right. Who else?
Shout out to Nellie Kaufman Middle School.
Woo woo! Nellie Kaufman Middle School. Where you at? All right.
Shout out to Raymond Cree Middle School.
All right, Raymond Cree. Where's the Cree? Right, Southern Principal. All right, good to see you. Thank you for joining us.
Shout
out to Cielo Vista Charter.
Hey, Cielo Vista in the house. Woo-woo.
Shout out to Painted Hills Middle School.
All right.
Hey, Painted Hills.
All right. All right, look at those wonderful middle schools. And wait a minute, am I hearing this right? We have some elementary students here?
You guys are out here.
Thank you.
Thanks.
All right, we have some elementary students. Want to welcome them, Tristan and Cheyenne?
Yes, we welcome all elementary school students. It is not just middle school. We welcome all elementary school, middle.
Yay, we're so glad to have you guys. Bella Vista, Rio Vista, Desert San, Vista Del Monte, all of you. You rock.
All of them.
All right, yes. All right, so at this time, in a moment, we're going to be listening to what we call or consider the Black National Anthem. But first, Tristan, can you educate us? Can you talk to us about the history of Lift Every Voice and Sing?
Yes, Lift Every Voice and Sing is often called the Black National Anthem. It was written as a poem by NAACP leader James Weldon Johnson and then set to music by his brother John Rosamond Johnson in 1899. Major themes in Lift Every Voice and Sing are endurance, freedom, suffering, and joy. The poem celebrates the victory and liberty of African American people. It also gives an account of their painful path and discusses the way they have struggled for their betterment.
Thank you. You did an excellent job. And with that in mind, ladies and gentlemen, it is my sincere honor to introduce my beautiful cousin, Yamonica Carter. She is coming to us live from Memphis, Tennessee. Cousin, will you grace us with your rendition of Lift Every Voice and Sing? Thank you.
Okay, here we go. Lift every voice and sing till earth and heaven ring with the heart.
Oh no, money.
Oh, liberty. Let our rejoicing rise high as the listening sky. Let it resound loud as the rolling sea. All right, sing a song full of the faith that the dark past has taught us. Sing a song full of the hope that the present has brought us, facing the rising sun of our new day begun. Let us march on till victory is won.
Thank you so much. All right, Joe Smith, Yamonica Carter,
Yes.
Yes.
I was ready for the second stanza. I was ready for God of our weary years, God of our silent tears. He was taking me there.
Yes, yes,
Brought
yes.
us.
Ladies and gentlemen, remember that song talks about hope. Okay, the hope, the suffering that we endured, but we still look forward to a better day. All right, thank you, cousin. And with that in mind, what's going on next, Tristan and Cheyenne?
Breakout room. Let's check in on our family. How are you letting your light shine? How are you doing in school? And what's going on with you?
All right, so at this moment, you know how we do, JBA. We're going to break up into different groups. Listen up. This is a time for you all to talk to us. Let us know what's going on with you. Okay, and we care about you. We have wonderful adults here to help you work out whatever is going on. And on that note, see you back in about 5 minutes.
Hi. Hello. So I guess quick introduction. I don't think I know any of you in here. So, well, Cheyenne, I see you at our meetings. I'm Ruby. I work for the school district, and I'm also a former student in Palm Springs Unified. And now I work closely with our parents in our school district. Anyone else?
My name is Ayin, and I'm a student at Cielo Vista Charter School.
Hi,
My name
Cheyenne.
is Solange, Senior A, and I am a sophomore at Palm Springs High School.
Hi, Solange.
Palm Springs PD. I'm a school resource officer, and I mostly go to Raymond Cree, but also Cielo Vista and all the schools in Palm Springs.
Nice to meet you. Okay, so everyone's glowing, so I think it'll be.
Hey, Miss Cox, we didn't even get a chance to start.
Sorry about that. I don't know what happened.
I think it's automatically defaulted to 60 seconds. So you might have to just change the time to increase it a little bit.
Wait, how do I do that?
Right when we entered the room, it gave 60-second countdown.
Yeah, it did.
Really?
It did. So let's see. I think under.
Do I need to open all rooms again?
Yeah, I mean, I have to open all the rooms, and then there should be a setting. Let's see. There we go.
And we're back.
We are. And I wasn't sure if I'd see you ladies again. Okay, good. And welcome to Raymond. Hi, Mr. Franz, right?
Yeah, right.
We were just about to talk about what are we doing that makes us shine? Was that, I might have mixed that up a little, but that's the idea. Anyone have something they want to start with? It was a two-part question too. I don't remember the second part.
I'll go first.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what's really been helping me shine and just stay confident and positive through everything that's been going on is I dance, sing, and do martial arts. So just really being active in the best and safest way possible has definitely kept me very positive and helped me feel like I've definitely grown to love myself more. So I feel like with a lot of more self-confidence, it's helped me grow and shine my light a little more.
Love that. Okay. Cheyenne, are you ready to share? I don't want to miss you, so.
Okay. I have been doing a lot more of I've been getting good grades and stuff, and I've been spending more time with my mom, and just being grateful for every day that I have and knowing that it's a blessing.
Thank you. I'll share. I feel like I have been shining recently with service. That makes me feel good when I'm doing something for others. And something I've been doing is making Black excellence posts for Black History Month and spotlighting different people in our school district. And it makes me feel so good when people then share what I made. When I see them put it on their social media, that's been making me feel good about myself.
Cool in the gang. I know one thing that we're doing in our household is educating our kids about being more positive and equitable with people within the community and making sure that everybody is treated fairly. And we spotlight the fact that we're all people of, you know, different races, different backgrounds, different religions, and that we maintain respect for everybody's beliefs. I actually had a question for my son the other day regarding something political that he saw on TV. And I had to have a conversation with him and said, regardless of the political beliefs, there's still people who have families, who have kids, and they have a different way of thinking than, you know, we do. It doesn't necessarily mean that, you know, anybody is a bad person or bad for choosing to make decisions that affect their family. Everybody has their own beliefs. And that's one thing that we promote in our house. And we want our kids to share with the community, that we respect everybody's opinion.
Thank you.
Sorry, I'm in an office full of offices.
Oh, no worries.
I'm going to be going back and forth.
Okay.
I think the unique part about my job within what I'm going to Miss Rivera and Mr. Franz, I kind of like am right in the middle where I can help one side speak their mind and the other one speak their mind and try to find common ground to help mediate those two things. So it's a really unique position for me to be in. But also just working in the schools, same thing, just expanding my perspective on a whole slew of different topics and learning new things, and then putting that out there to all of my principals and counselors and everything, and then watching something that I created as well go up on a social media post or something out to the kids is just the highlight of my day.
I get that. Awesome. Well, I'm glad we're all finding ways to shine, even with, you know, a lot of things out of our control in our world. I think sometimes we do want to focus on the things that we really have no control of. Like you said, political views of others, just things happening out of our control related to the pandemic. We only have 60 seconds, but finding a way to still let ourselves shine is really important. And we're all doing that in different ways. And I'm happy to hear that. I don't know if anyone wants to say any last words. We have 47 seconds. Well, it's really nice meeting you. Solange, I feel like I've heard your name brought up many times, and so you must be involved in the school district in other ways.
My dad is Tony Signore, so he is the assistant superintendent for Palm Springs Unified. That could be where you hear it from.
Yeah, your last name, but I'm sure I've heard your first name, so you must be doing something too.
Yeah, I'm an activist and do stuff like that within my community. So I am also an ambassador for Buddha Bullying, and I travel in and out of LA, and I've done news stuff. So I'm very big on my community too, which is why I can relate to a lot of things that have been said.
Okay, I knew that.
All right, brothers and sisters. I hope and pray that everybody's doing all right. Sometimes we have to check in. All right. Sometimes we have to check in with family and make sure we're all right. All right. Having said that, my junior Black achievers, check this out. Throughout this lesson, or this meeting rather, you guys are going to get a little taste of Black culture, whether it's a little bit of poetry, whether it's a little bit of art, whether it's a little bit of hair care, okay? or learning about different scientists and inventors. Make sure you pay attention because we're going to play a game of Cahoots later on where you can win either a $20 gift card, $10 gift card, or a $5 gift card. So make sure you pay attention. And having said that, who's next, Tristan?
Lauren Kennedy. Lauren Kennedy is going to explain who Langston Hughes was. She's going to get a poem from Langston.
All right, take it over, Lauren.
Hi, everyone. My name is Lauren Kennedy. I'm a senior at Palm Springs High School and alumni to Raymond Cream Middle School and Catherine Pinchy. And I saw that we had some people from both of those schools, so hi. And I will be reciting I Too Sing America by Langston Hughes. I too sing America. I am the darker brother. They send me tea in the kitchen when company comes, but I laugh and eat well and grow strong. Tomorrow I'll be at the table when company comes. Nobody will dare say to me, eat in the kitchen then.
Besides, they'll see how beautiful I am and be ashamed.
I too am America.
Very good. Thank you so much. Let's show some love for Lauren Kennedy. Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you, Queen. Yes, Langston Hughes was a poet. Have you all ever heard of Langston Hughes? Yeah. I know that when I was in college, I studied Langston Hughes. For any adults out there, do you like any particular pieces by Langston Hughes? Anybody?
Yeah, I like this.
I love that Langston Hughes.
Yeah, Langston Hughes is wonderful, especially during the Harlem Renaissance. That was a time in our country where a lot of Blacks were trying to participate in art, whether it was dancing, whether it was singing, there was jazz. So, all right, Langston Hughes. All right, now, ladies and gentlemen, something else we're going to be doing throughout. It's called Name That Hairstyle. And Miss Everett, you're going to be helping me out in the chat. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to show you all some hairstyles that we used to wear throughout time. And you all have got to figure out what's the name of the hairstyle. But first, why don't we give a little taste?
Hi, Tiani.
Here's the first question. Is there a such thing of good or bad hair? Put your answer in the chat. Once again, is there a such thing of good or bad hair?
Okay, and I wish we had that School Days song. I'm getting nothing but
okay,
notes.
I was going to play it, Miss Everett, but it was too long. Miss Jackson said it was too long.
Okay, Caden is the Lone Ranger who says yes. Everybody else says no.
Okay.
Lots of no's.
All right.
No's.
All right. And guess what? The answer is no. No, there is no such thing of good and bad hair. You all, everyone's hair is different and has specific needs and best practices to achieve healthy, moisturized, and defined hair.
That's
so
right.
it can be difficult.
Good, best friend.
Right. It can be difficult to know what tips to follow if you don't know your hair pattern. So I want you all to look at this. So you see, these are different. These represent the hair follicle. Listen, some are straight, some are wavy, some are deep wavy, some are super curly. There is no value attached to hair. All hair is beautiful. Can we say that again? All hair is beautiful.
All hair is
all
beautiful.
hair is.
All right, ashe, ashe.
Ashe.
All right. And now, a Black History moment with Dr. Cox. Take it away, Dr. Cox.
Hello, everyone. It's good to be here. Everybody can hear me okay?
Yes.
All right. It's a pleasure to be here. So we know that Carter G. Woodson is the founder or the father of Black history. Dr. Carter G. Woodson is the father of Black History Month. He was the son of former slaves, but still managed to receive his bachelor's degree from the University of Chicago and his PhD from Harvard University. In 1926, Woodson launched the February as the month to recognize Negro history. And I didn't know if you guys were aware of that, but I thought that would be a nice fun fact for Dr. Carter G. Woodson.
All right, let's give it up for Carter G. Woodson. Yes, yes, yes. He's the reason why we even celebrate Black History Month. And speaking of Black History Month, Tristan, what are your thoughts on February being Black History Month, Tristan?
My personal thoughts is, I honestly, do you guys think that there should be a Black History Month? I mean, honestly, we have so much history. Why try and get it all in 1 month?
That is a great question. So Cheyenne, I think you have some questions. Let's have a conversation. What are our questions, Cheyenne?
Should Black History be every day or is a month sufficient?
Let's answer that question first. Let's focus on that one first. What do you all think? Put it in the chat, unmute, speak.
That is not enough at all for 1 month.
Okay. Why do you say that?
That's a lot of history to cover and try and say that it can all fit in 1 month. It probably can't fit in a year.
Okay.
So that's
Excuse me?
All right.
Excuse me, I want to say something.
Yes, comments.
Go ahead.
Do you realize how that Black History Month or February is the shortest month out of all year?
True. Dr. Cox, school them on why was February chosen, because I've heard that before too. Why was February chosen, Dr. Cox or Miss Everett? Who wants to speak to that?
It was originally only a week. It was called Negro History Week, and it was because Frederick Douglass and Abraham Lincoln's birthdays were in February.
Oh, please.
Right. So that's why, sweetheart, because it falls in between Abraham Lincoln and Frederick Douglass. You guys know who Frederick Douglass is?
Right. Somebody needs to mute.
Okay.
There is a documentary out there. The thing about it even being 2 weeks back when it started was so revolutionary. Slavery had just ended. It was very briefly, Black people were fresh out of slavery, and to even acknowledge that for 2 weeks was unheard of. He received death threats and everything else because they didn't even want to give the Negro a week. But Carter G. Woodson felt like it would improve morale as a nation as we rebuilt at the end of slavery. So yeah, it's easy to say in 2021 because we know our history is American history, but there's something about having a month completely to ourselves, I think that has value. But we should celebrate all year, best friend, because we do make history all year.
Amen.
Amen. All right, well said. Touche.
That's what I call Miss Jackson, everybody.
Real. Okay, Cheyenne, our next question. Cheyenne?
What changes need to be made at your schools?
Right. So my question, are you guys at your school, do you feel like you guys celebrated Black History Month at all? Yeah. Or throughout the year, is it celebrated? Okay.
Not at all.
Not at all?
They didn't do anything for Black History Month at my school.
Oh.
Yes.
Me too, yeah.
This month in my history class, we did get a lesson today about a little bit of Black history, but it seems that most of this month we were still learning about Jefferson and the Louisiana Purchase and stuff like that. I was kind of concerned why we weren't learning about our culture or anything like that.
Interesting.
Can I speak, please?
Okay.
Kristen said it was minimal at his school and very disappointing.
I think so.
Okay. So I'm hearing minimal, very little, not at all.
At my school, we learn about in history, we learn about Black history.
Okay.
And then in art, we draw Martin Luther King.
Okay.
And some other icons.
Okay.
And in math,
okay, well, that's good to hear that you got your school, they're talking about it. That's excellent. That's good to hear. All right. Anything else in the chat, Miss Everett? If not,
no, I was going to ask Stephanie to put in the chat. She said she learned something in math, and I wanted her to put that in the chat because I don't know if the people of the Junior Black Achievers know that math begins in Egypt. Math begins in Africa. That's world history while you counting.
That's right. That's right. Thank you for that. Cheyenne, our third question while she's typing in the chat.
Our third question is, how can you make change in our district?
Yeah, and so if you guys are at a school that maybe your teachers aren't or doing anything for Black History Month, what can you do? Enough complaining. What can you do to fix it? What can you do?
One thing that I did was I made it like, I have a TikTok, and then I just posted a drawing that I did for a super long time and for Black History Month.
Great
idea. And
right.
I just made it on social media.
All right, that's awesome. Anything else? That is awesome.
At my school, I pitched the idea to ASB to do a poster contest.
Ooh.
You're being humble, Sophia. Tell the rest of the story, daughter, because I will. You're being humble, Sophia. Tell it all now. If you're going to tell it all.
Tell it all, girl.
Well, we got about 20 submissions. Actually, 18, not including the examples me and my colleague did. But yeah, we got a pretty good turnout. But that, because we weren't having enough Black history. They would only teach about Martin Luther King Jr. and Harriet Tubman every single year. And they're important, but we have to learn about more people.
Amen.
Amen. And
Kudos, Sophia.
Thank you for that. And if you all will notice tonight, I didn't talk about athletes and I didn't focus on a lot of singers. And I think I did that on purpose because I want you all to know, yes, I love sports. I love singing, or singers and stuff, but we're so much more than that. We're scientists, we're poets, we're authors, we're inventors. So thank you for that. Anything else, Miss Everett, in the chat?
No, ma'am, nothing. Let me look. I missed two. Yeah, everybody just saying that everybody is giving Sophia her props right now. And I want the whole group to know because she brought that idea to her school's ASB and to her admin. And although she had a different vision, she was still able to execute her goal. And that's just an example of how one student can make a difference on a campus. And for those of you who are in JBA, we want you to know as the grown-ups on here that we're here to help you guys execute your change as well. So yeah, I'm gonna stop talking. I just want everybody to know the Sophia story because I was sure gonna tell it. I was sure.
Well, we glad you done told it. Yeah, because it's important. You're Black history too. Black history celebrating what's going on in PSUSD. Thank you for that. All right, so now we've had this great conversation. It is now time for Black Art with Dr. Cox. Who's Jacob Lawrence, Dr. Cox?
Jacob Lawrence is personally one of my favorite artists. He was a painter noted for capturing the African-American experience. This particular painting stems from his Harriet Tubman series. And if you look at it, it has that juvenile-like quality where you see the arms outstretched, you see the bright defined stars, kind of has a little bit of that Matisse twist where he's using colors to stand out. So this is Jacob Lawrence, Harriet Tubman series, one of my favorite artists.
And this was a Black Art History moment. Thank you. Let's give it up for Jacob Lawrence. Woo-hoo! Jacob Lawrence, have you all ever heard of Jacob Lawrence?
No.
All right, so what are your thoughts? I would love for you guys, come on, all the JBA members, our visitors, what are your thoughts? Because that's one thing about becoming cultured, where you can look at an art piece and you can formulate an opinion. How does it make you feel? How does it move you? What message do you think he's sending?
And not only that, paintings or artwork is meant to read like a narrative. So you should be able to read the story based upon the iconic photograph of Harriet Tubman dressed all in white right before she died. But what is she doing in that painting? Why is there one star that's is the most defined?
Great question. Anyone else?
I think maybe
leading the way for Harriet Tubman and
what she's trying to accomplish, and I think that is her map.
Very good.
So what particular star is she trying to reach for?
I feel like when I was looking at this, I looked at it and I thought it looks like, when I looked at it, I thought this looks like, this shows the way how she embodies the way of change and always keep paving forward and never stop and be ignorant to change.
Honey, you should have been at the meeting last night. All right. Preach, brother, preach.
That is true.
That is very good.
Dr. Cox let the cat out of the bag. I was waiting to see if somebody would say the North.
Sorry, I just couldn't hold back.
Yeah,
Sorry.
my fingers were on the keyboard too. Go ahead. Tell them more about the North Star, Doc.
Well, we know that Harriet Tubman was not given, she was given, there wasn't a map, right? So they knew to follow the North Star, and the North Star would just do that. It would lead them north, okay? And so you could see where Jacob Lawrence totally focused on this key factor of following the North Star to freedom. And she's even pointing at the star as a beacon of where to go on her road to freedom.
All right, and that was a Black Art History moment. All right, so now you guys know about Jacob Lawrence.
Miss Langdon is in the chat. She said, also notice how Harriet is juxtaposed at the bottom of the picture, but she's reaching upward towards a better life. And John Cummings said north means to go forward. So okay, I feel real cultured. I feel like I'm
Yes, Stephanie, say something. Stephanie has something to say, Miss Everett.
I know. Go ahead, Steph. We got you. Come
on. I think it's like you see all the small stars, but she wants something bigger, something better. She wants to go farther. So I think that's what she's reaching for the best it can be.
Where did we get these awesome students from?
Hey, Stephanie, let me ask you something, because you know that later on, Harriet Tubman served as the first and only Black female general for the Union side during the Civil War. So do you feel like this is, it was kind of like a prophetic notion that she knew she would be a general, she would be a star leading former slaves to victory during the Civil War? What do you think about that, Stephanie?
I think that is that. I think that it was one of the many steps to be that biggest star.
Yes. So before we had General Colin Powell, we had Harriet Tubman as a general.
Okay.
There we go.
All right.
Very good. You guys are right on point.
Oh my gosh, we could have we need another art session, Doc.
Okay. This is incredible. Boy, you guys rock. All right, but time to name this hairstyle. Indicate in the chat. What's the name of it? If Coach was here, he could talk to you about his.
Is that show and tell?
I know, it would have been if he had been here too.
Okay, I see locks. Okay, somebody says dreadlocks.
Okay.
Everybody else says locks.
Okay.
So hit me with the dreadlocks. Best friend called them dreadlocks. 2 words. Dreadlocks. Guess who's coming to dinner? They're naughty dreadlocks. Okay. And then we got some people that just call them just plain old dreads. That's a good point. We really do need to have this conversation.
And guess what? I think all of them are right. Dreadlocks, lock, and back in the day, sister locks too. My Aunt Phyllis had sister locks. I guess those were a little smaller.
Miss Dag at DHS has sister locks. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, locks. My cousin has them also.
Hey, you can buy them.
Hey, you guys.
Miss Cox.
Oh, sorry.
Miss Cox, I just wanted to interject as to why they don't refer to them as dreadlocks. It's because of the history of dreadlocks. Dread represents oppression and being held back. And when you connect it with the locks, that's why we don't call them dreadlocks anymore. And they're just referred to as locks, which connect you to your cultural identity versus bondage and slavery.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did
Got
you,
spiritual.
did
Go
you know
ahead.
Uncle Frank just asked a question in the chat? Uncle Frank, was
Yeah,
that
yeah. There's also some information about that where the dreads originated was back in Ethiopia.
right?
Right.
Okay, and so that it was the warriors wore their hair in these locks, and they were feared. They were
Lion of
fierce.
Judah, yeah.
They were bad. They were some bad dudes. So they got the name. They were dreaded. They were feared. So they began to call them dreadlocks.
Right, and lots of we associated with Jamaica, but many Jamaicans and people who identify as Rastafarians are followers of Haile Selassie, which
Haile
is
Selassie,
the emperor of Ethiopia. Who
Now, you know, I got to ask, how did they compare? Because usually when we hear about warriors, I think about the Zulu tribe. I mean, the Zulu warriors were fierce, where they killed 800 British colonists because of their ability to strategize and fight. So how did the Ethiopians compare to the Zulu warriors of South Africa?
Selassie Nim beat Mussolini and the Italians when they came rolling.
That is true. That is true. Okay.
And told them, you go back over there with your spaghetti and your lasagna. We don't
Okay.
right here
Basta, 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 tu parlare italiano.
Okay.
Okay,
you
that is
guys-
true. Okay, thank you. Thank you.
To bring it back together, children, hold on. Children, here's what you all need to know. That dreads are an integral part of our culture. The warriors wore them.
Yeah.
So once again, remember we talked about all hair is beautiful. This style is beautiful as well. All right. Thank you for all that info, y'all. I just forget my notes. Y'all are right. Wow.
That is correct.
All right. So now we're going to move on, you guys, and we're going to call this section Negro Spirituals. I was talking with Dr. Cox, and she made a very profound statement. She said, you know what, Joy? Negro spirituals are very interwoven in our culture. But here's the thing, students, I want to hear from you. What do you all know about Negro spirituals? Have you ever heard of them? I want either you can unmute, put it in the chat. What do you know about Negro spirituals? Even some adults in the room. Interesting. Think about it. And if you don't know, it's okay. Okay. Anything in the chat, Ms. Everett?
Honestly, people are saying best friend, wade in the water. Is that the most popular one? Dr. Pearson said this is how slaves communicated. Yes.
Okay.
All right. Anybody under the age of 30 got anything to say? Okay, Sophia, of course, she said there's songs slaves sang that had secret messages to freedom. And Liana said they bend the energy of nature to their will and they work. Okay, that's true. They believed they were working with spirits and deities. Is Yamonica taking a request? That's a request. And then Tristan said his great grandmother would sing them while she cooked and cleaned. Yeah. If I heard my grandmother singing it, I knew she was going to get the switch.
Yeah. I was about to say, you're going to need it when you get your behind kicked.
Yes,
so that's enough to make it spiritual.
Going for the switch. And I actually with the fear of those songs. They scared me because I was,
Like literally the fear of the Lord. Yeah.
All right. Hey, Tristan, educate us. Tristan, what are Negro spirituals?
Well, I love okra. Tristan, we about to be unbenefited. He said not only did his great grandma sing it, she sung it while she was making yucky okra. Boy,
I'm gonna have to put my foot in this.
That's old school right there.
No.
Let me tell you about that okra. Let me let Tristan run this meeting. Let me hush, but I got you.
We will talk about okra later. I know.
Yeah, okay.
Everybody can't cook okra though.
Please.
No. All right, go ahead, Tristan.
Go ahead, Tristan. Do your thing.
So, Negro spirituals are songs that the musical and religious slaves incorporated as their new source of hope. Slaves found strength in their music in what we call spirituals. The spirituals expressed the belief that one day they would be released from their chains of slavery and allowed to live freely again. If not in this life, then in the afterlife.
Yes, so they sang while they worked to lift their spirits, but also we're going to talk about a little something else too. We know that in Negro spiritual, there's a lot of figurative language. You guys remember learning about figurative language in school? Do you remember? Yes, no, you remember?
In English class, in your English class.
3rd grade, I know I taught figurative
Yes.
language. Cheyenne, why don't you educate us? What is figurative language? Maybe they forgot.
Figurative language is when you use a word or phrase that does not have a normal everyday literal meaning. There are a few different ways to use figurative language, including metaphors, similes, personification, and symbolism.
Yeah, so once again, metaphors, similes, personification, symbolism. Because think about it, guys, slaves wanted to be free. They couldn't say, hey, Alyssa, hey, boo, listen up, girl. At 8 o'clock Sunday morning, we're about to bounce. What would happen to them if...
Let's go.
Yeah, what do you all think would happen to slaves if they made a big announcement that they were going to escape? I would love to hear either from the students or you can write in the chat. What would happen? Anybody want to take a chance?
Right, Cheyenne.
Oh, somebody, Cheyenne said they'd be injured or die, or they would get in trouble. True.
Right.
You've been quiet. I know you have something to add. Killed or badly beaten. That's correct, Brooklyn. It was gonna be a death type situation.
Right. So they had to use secret codes. Like, for example, look at that first picture. If they were to sing about putting on some shoes or running shoes, what do you all think that means? You can put it in the chat or unmute. If they sang a song about running shoes or putting on my shoes, what do you all think that means?
Last chance to escape. Okay.
All right. Time to escape. Right. What about songs about heaven? If they're singing about heaven, what do you think heaven represents?
Freedom.
Yeah.
I see freedom in the chat.
All right.
Everybody saying they're gonna leave and go to freedom, heaven, and peace. Okay, Tristan. Yeah.
Right. Yes. So in a second, we're going to talk about water. Speaking of water, ladies and gentlemen, I introduce to you Solange Signoret. Go ahead. Thank you for being patient.
Hi, everybody. My name is Solange Signoret. I am a sophomore at Palm Springs High School. So today, as it was a little bit talked about, I'm going to be singing Wade in the Water, which I want you guys to pay very close attention to what messages are shown throughout this song. This song really signified a signal to escape by swimming in the water, because if they swam in the water, then the dogs could not smell their scent. Whereas if they were on land, it would be a little more difficult for them to get their scent hidden. So here is Wade in the Water. Wade in the water, wade in the water, children, wade in the water. God's gonna trouble the water. Who are those children all dressed in red? God's gonna trouble the water. It must be the ones that Moses led. God's gonna trouble the water. Wade in the water. Wade in the water, children. Wade in the water. God's gonna trouble the water. Who are those children all dressed in white? God's gonna trouble the water. It must be the children of the Israelites. God's gonna trouble the water. Wade in the water. Wade in the water, children. Wade in the water. God's gonna trouble the water. Who are these children all dressed in blue? God's gonna trouble the water. It must be the ones that made it through. God's gonna trouble the water. Wade in the water. Wade in the water, children. Wade in the water. God's gonna trouble the water. God's gonna trouble the water. God's gonna trouble the water. Thank you.
All right.
Girl.
Yes.
Girl.
Great job, Solange.
Excellent.
Was something else.
Wonderful.
Go ahead,
Thank
girl.
you so much, Solange. So once again, did you all hear what she said? The water, God's going to trouble the water. In particular, if we're dealing with the South, ladies and gentlemen, we're dealing with the Mississippi River. Okay, that's one of the rivers that they would swim in to escape. Excellent job. Thank you, Miss Signoret, for gracing us with that wonderful performance. All right. Here is another Negro spiritual, ladies and gentlemen. Now, as you listen to this song, what light are they referring to? Feel free to chat or to write in the chat as Miss Yamonica Carter graces us with This Little Light of Mine. Miss Yamonica?
Okay. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Oh, this little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Oh, everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Oh, everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. It says, I'm not gonna make it. I'm gonna make it shine. I'm gonna let it shine. I'm not gonna make it shine. I'm gonna let it shine. You understand this? I'm not gonna make it shine. I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine. Let it shine. Let it shine.
Thank you. All right.
Thank you, Yum Yum. Yum Yum. Pass the offering tray. Pass the offering tray.
Somebody pass the plate.
I know.
I know. And don't put a chicken bone in it either.
All right. So in the chat box, what is that light referring to? What light are we talking about? What signal, what message does that send? Anything in the chat box?
Everybody's just really feeling Miss Carter's version of the song.
Okay.
Anybody know what light they're talking about?
No one knows.
No, the Cuban niece is kicking in with light of freedom or peace. So Stephanie says hope. Emma says their soul shining. This is the light within. Yes, Tristan, even though you don't like okra. Devin is like, yeah. You know Miss Evans Petty on the chat now. You know that. Yeah, they're opening up, right? They're letting them. You know, when a business is open or closed, they turn on their light. I got that. I see that.
Okay. All right. So now you guys know more about Negro spirituals. And even to this day, you guys, in Black churches, they sing Negro spirituals.
Mama.
Okay. All right. So keep it moving. Speaking of light, Lewis Latimer literally let his light shine. Tristan, what do you know about Lewis Latimer?
Lewis Latimer was an expert draftsman who joined Thomas Edison's lab in 1884. He also was a skilled inventor and designed several improvements for light bulbs.
Have you ever heard of Lewis Latimer?
Yes.
All right, so one person did. Anybody else in the chat? How many of you all knew he worked with Thomas Edison to improve the light bulb?
No, all they ever tell you about is Watson.
Ah.
Stephanie said yes. Jared said yes. Vanessa did not know.
And
okay.
Miss
I
Maxim
actually
didn't know. She said this is news to her. Well,
All right.
the more you know, that's what we're here for.
And don't forget, he also worked with Alexander Graham Bell from the telephone.
Yes, he did.
All right. All right. So now you guys know. Remember, we said this Black history is American history, it's world history. All right. Now, time for Black art with Dr. Cox. Dr. Cox, who is Edmonia Lewis?
Well, Edmonia Lewis was a Black and Native American sculptor. And she was known for this beautiful art piece called The Death of Cleopatra. And she was active back in 1862. She was orphaned at a young age of 5. Her father was a free African, and her mother was a part of the Ojibwe, I don't know if I'm pronouncing this right, Ojibwe tribe. And she went to go live with the Native American tribe after her parents died up until she was 12 years of age. So this is Edmonia Lewis, and she was a Black and Native American sculptor. Beautiful, beautiful rendition of The Death of Cleopatra.
Yes. And what was this? What particular stone was this, Dr. Cox? Do you know?
I'm thinking marble.
That's what I was thinking too.
I believe it's marble. If you look at the beauty of how she was able to carve out the stone, and it has the appearance of a fabric. And it's very, very hard to get that out of stone, especially with marble. And then you got the head gently tilting back as if Cleopatra just has just died. The way the fabric lays across her body, how her legs are, the fabric is resting on her legs. A beautiful demonstration of a mastery of the stone.
Thank you. Any of you all ever think about being sculpturists? Anybody into art? No one? Okay.
No, but we do have someone in the chat who says that they are also Black and Native American as well. Cheyenne.
All right. Yes.
Also Cherokee and Black.
Oh, beautiful, beautiful. So you can relate to this. Her father was a free African, and her mother was from the Ojibwe tribe. And she lived with the Native American tribe after her parents' death. Beautiful.
All right. But we love her, all sides of her. Thank you, Dr. Cox, for that. Hey, time for Name That Hairstyle. In the chat, let me know. What style is this braid? It's a particular style.
Yeah, what do y'all call, what are the kids calling this style these days?
I don't know, but I'm old school, so I don't know. Maybe y'all can school me. Does anybody know?
Okay, so Devin's calling them cornrows, cornrows. Come on, I know y'all. So if am I the only one who's ever called them straight backs?
What?
Hey, are y'all laughing at me or with me?
Wait a minute, sir. We love you, sis.
Nobody heard of that. Who did they use that?
I have to.
You've heard the straight backs, Steph? Is that what you were saying? Are you agreeing with me?
No. Everybody, the answer is cornrows. Cornrows date back to Africa and the Americas, you guys. So cornrows, they originated in Africa. Cornrows for women date back to the 3000 BC, and as far back as the 19th century for men in Ethiopia.
Yeah.
Warriors and heroes in ancient Greece even wore cornrows. So you guys, maybe that'll change how we view people. You know, sometimes in society now, when we see people with cornrows, we think like, but listen, warriors and heroes in ancient Greece used to wear cornrows. And during slavery, cornrows was a practical way for Black women to wear their hair while they're working. And did you all know?
Somebody said it in the chat.
They used to what? What did they say?
Hide food, seeds, and rice. That was Z. Good one.
Yes. Oh, technically, that was an early form of a pocketbook.
Baby. Yes. That was the stash spot for sure, for sure.
Yes, you guys, they hid rice and seeds in their hair.
And guess what seeds they bought with them from Africa in their hair?
Mm-hmm. Yes, they did. Ashe. All right, you guys are awesome. But you know what? Whether you decide to rock dreadlocks, whether you decide to wear a straight back or cornrows, You guys, don't you let anybody turn you around. Kelly, will you grace us with a song?
Ain't gonna let nobody turn me round, turn me round, turn me round. Ain't gonna let nobody turn me round. I'm gonna keep on walking, keep on talking, marching to freedom land.
Very good. Give it up for Kelly Rossi.
That was awesome, Kelly.
That was.
Yes.
You
Yes.
did
Don't
that.
you let
You did
anybody
that.
turn you around. Whether you guys rock your dreads, you rock your braids, straight back. I've never heard of that. Don't let anybody turn you around, right? All right. Thank you for that, Kelly. Speaking of turning around, I know that Shirley Chisholm didn't let anybody turn her around. Is Sophia here?
Yes. Yes,
All
I
right,
am.
Sophia, what do we know about Shirley Chisholm?
Shirley Anita Chisholm was an American politician, educator, and author. In 1968, she became the first Black woman elected to United States Congress, representing New York's 12th congressional district for 7 terms from 1969 to 1983.
Hey, have you all ever heard of Shirley Chisholm?
I have.
Yeah, so before Kamala Harris, if I'm not mistaken, was it her, which one ran for president?
She did. The verses from
There you
Eric
go.
B. and Rakim when we were in high school in 1980. He said Reagan is the president, but I voted for Shirley Chisholm.
That's right.
All right, so now y'all know. I hope y'all are taking notes. Shirley Chisholm. There you go,
Lay it down the
y'all.
law, laying it down.
Now, speaking of laying it down, what's the name of this hairstyle? Put it in the chat.
Okay, the Cubanesis first. What else do you guys call this hair? Okay, yeah. All right.
What are they saying, Miss Everett?
Everybody's saying afro.
Dun, dun,
Afro.
feel the fever dun, dun, of the afro. Guess what? You're right. The afro, ladies and gentlemen, can be worn at different lengths.
Okay, Caden. Caden used to have one.
Oh, cool. You guys, afro became very popular in the 1960s and 70s. And what it did, it brought a renewed sense of identity to Blacks. You know, so often, and I remember this, our hair had negative connotation to it. It was nappy, it was kinky, it was cottony. And but these afros said, you know what? People said, listen, I'm gonna let my hair grow. I'm gonna let it do what it do and embrace its natural, whatever natural texture hair you have, embrace it. But one thing I wanna say to you all, whether you choose to dig it and wig it like Miss Cox, or wear your hair in an afro or cornrows, natural, all of our hair is beautiful. Can I get an ashe, ashe?
Ashe, ashe.
All right. And speaking of ashe, ashe, I see Fannie Lou Hamer choosing to wear a pressing curl or pressing comb or whatever. All right, Miss Jackson, who's Fannie Lou Hamer?
Fannie Lou Hamer. So try as I might to contain Fannie Lou Hamer in about 2 or 3 paragraphs, I could not. So I'm going to read to you some awesome facts about this wonderful woman. So Miss Fannie Lou Hamer was born in Montgomery County, Mississippi on October 6, 1917. And as a child, she worked picking cotton. While she was picking cotton, she was encouraged by her mother to learn to read. She heeded her mother's advice to learn to read because when you read, you know, and you can help yourself and others. So she became an avid reader and also learned to write. So she was soon noted for her abilities by her employer, a local plantation owner, and she was placed in charge as a record keeper. So while she was working as a record keeper, Ms. Hamer became to observe the plantation owner cheating local sharecroppers. She then implemented changes to help unknowing sharecroppers from being cheated, and thus began Ms. Hamer's fight for civil and political justice. In August of 1962, Ms. Hamer volunteered with a group of others interested in registering to vote. So Ms. Hamer traveled with the group to the courthouse, but failed the illegal literacy test the group was forced to take. Still determined, Ms. Hamer vowed to return until she passed the test, and eventually she did pass. Despite having been allowed to vote, in an effort to deter her, Ms. Hamer was beaten by police, shot at, and received death threats, yet she continued to exercise her voting right. Recognizing the need for greater representation in 1964, she co-founded the Mississippi Freedom Democratic Party in an effort to prevent the all-white Democratic Party's attempt to hinder African-American votes. During the Democratic National Convention, many white political leaders, including then President Lyndon B. Johnson, attempted to silence Ms. Hamer, going so far as to interrupt her televised speech with an emergency presidential address. President Johnson is reported to have described Ms. Hamer as being illiterate and unqualified to give any address. However, the news agencies were so moved by her speech that although the president did interrupt Ms. Hamer, it was even more widely televised across the nation on various news channels. In 1969, Ms. Hamer pioneered the Freedom Farm Act, which attempted to redistribute economic power and strengthen the economic standing for African Americans. Ms. Hamer started the Pig Bank after being donated pigs. The pigs were then bred, raised, and distributed to underprivileged families as a resource for food and also money. Through the program Selling of Pigs and also through donations, Ms. Hamer was able to amass over 650 acres of land that she shared with underprivileged families, raising crops and livestock. So despite Ms. Hamer being regarded as illiterate and unqualified, she received several honorary doctorates and degrees from various universities, including Howard University. She was inducted into the National Women's Hall of Fame and honored by the Alpha Kappa Alpha and Delta Sigma Theta sororities. She was also revered by other political leaders such as Malcolm X and also Martin Luther King for her tell it like it is authorial style. On March 14, 1977, Ms. Hamer passed away after complications from breast cancer and hypertension. During her funeral, attendees sang her favorite song, "This Little Light of Mine." Her funeral was reported as having been one of the most highly publicized funerals in Mississippi's history. Ms. Fannie Lou Hamer will forever be remembered and revered as a leader, a passionate orator, and a beacon for civil and political justice. Thank you, Ms. Fannie Lou Hamer, for sharing your light, which continues to guide us.
All right, let's show love for Fannie Lou Hamer, and thank you, Ms. Jackson. So she was like the Stacey Abrams before Stacey Abrams.
Yes,
right?
yes, she was literally the first. So kudos to Fannie Lou Hamer.
I would love for you all to indicate in the chat, what are your thoughts about Fannie Lou Hamer? Thoughts, opinions? What do you think about that? People called her illiterate, but she didn't let that stop her. She still went on to go ahead and vote. Now you all see why it's so important to vote and educate yourself, learn to read.
People are inspired. I see amazing in the chat, inspiring in the chat.
Excellent. All right, and I love this quote.
She's turn around.
There you go, Ashe. And I love when she said, if I fall, I'll fall 5 feet 4 inches forward in the fight for freedom. And I'm not backing off.
Yeah.
All right. So don't you all turn around and don't you back off either. Thank you, Ms. Jackson. Absolutely. Time for Black History Month codes. All right. Have you all been paying attention?
Yes, Emma. That was a good one.
All right. I hope you've been paying attention. Listen up. I have $20 gift cards. Let me see, $10 gift card, $5 gift cards. All right. So let me just share my screen real quickly. If you want to play, you can win. All right. Waiting for you. For the children, adults, for the children.
Yeah, yeah. And Dr. Cox, let's take an oath of silence because one of us been talking too much. I ain't gonna say which one.
It's okay, Miss Everett. Compassion is good for the soul.
Keep going. And when you see Taste of Soul, you're gonna be like, I could have done that. I could have done that. All right, bet. I will be in your inboxes. So look for us Friday at 5 o'clock. On Golden Eagle Network. And then after that, it'll live forever on the internet. So you can go back and look at your favorite parts. Like, oh, I can't tell them nothing. I can't tell y'all nothing. I have to stop talking before I give it all away.
Thank you. Taste of Soul, you guys join us. Also, Tristan, we want to give you guys the Black History Month Challenge. And what we have here is a list of different things that you can do. For example, I'm going to try hard to affirm a Black child, let them know that they too are beautiful and wonder, like I do with all my children. Tristan, what thing might you do on the BHM challenge?
I know for one thing that I'm going to do, definitely, I'm going to try and download a Black-owned app.
All right, very good. What about you, Cheyenne? Are you still here?
Yep, I'm still here. I'm gonna try to cook a family recipe.
Yeah, maybe some okra. Maybe. Or some oxtail.
Oh, you know that's my weakness. I would drive out to the desert for some oxtails.
What about you, Sophia? What are you gonna do?
I want to support a Black business.
Okay. I think that's important. Excellent. So I hope that you all will try to do that. I'm gonna try to put this on the JBA link so that you guys can maybe research someone, support a Black business like Sophia, plan a virtual celebration with family on the 28th. All right. Por favor, high school students, join Black Student Union. We got to get it going on in Cathedral City. We already got it going on in Desert Hot Springs, Palm Springs High School. We need to encourage your older brothers and sisters in high school to join Black Student Union. That's something you can do. APAC, anybody here to talk to our parents about APAC?
Did we lose Uncle Frank already?
Oh no.
Anybody? Uncle Frank's still here. He's here.
Come on, Unc. Come on, Unc.
I had to unmute. Okay. Well, APAC, of course, those who know, is the African American Parent Advisory Council. It's a program where we have a focus on being a link between the student, the parent, and the school district. So what we're trying to do is to get that more connected, and especially now in this pandemic situation, we want to come up with a focus on how we can be of support to the situations that you're having. If I have a minute, one of the things that came out in the breakout room was that both of the children talked about how they don't appreciate the atmosphere with the distance learning, but they focused on that they can't pay it, that's difficult for them to pay attention. So with these kinds of things happening, we need to find a way, and I'm supporting this, find a way that we can involve programming that will help the students in their struggles right now, and also bring the parents into a place where, what can we do to help the parents? Jody Diaz has introduced a concept to go door to door in the particular area around Cabot, Yerxa, and Desert Springs Middle School, and try to focus in on the parents. So there's a big, heavy emphasis, you guys, on what we need to move the area of helping the students and the parents. So that's kind of like where APAC is, but you know, we need you guys' help for sure. And as smart as you children are, I know I'm taking a little bit of time, but as smart as you children are, you can find a way to help each other, bring up the ones who aren't doing as well.
Amen.
And yeah, we say each one teach one. And so that can be a focus of yours. And here's another point that you may not realize now. Shut up. You know, there's that the teacher always learns more than the student. Remember that. Help somebody.
Amen. Thank you for that, Mr. Elmore.
I said a word today. All right. Okay.
All right. Hey, we went to church today, and I want you all to know that we're going to be all right. And on that note, speaking of church, how do we normally end church? In my church, we ended with this. Amen. Kelly, let's lead off. Let's end with an amen. Go ahead, Kelly.
Amen.
Oh, Lord.
Amen.
Have mercy.
Amen. Amen.
Bring it over now.
Amen.
Come on, everybody.
Amen.
Have mercy.
Amen. Amen.
Amen. And I was gonna say, hey, some words of encouragement and comfort from our elders, but I think Uncle Frank said it best.
Frank said
So
it
with that
all.
in mind, brothers and sisters, we appreciate you all staying with us today. Remember to encourage one another. I need to get the names of those. Thank you for all our visitors for staying. Thank you so much.
The Instagrams are in the chat. The DHS, HSBSU, the Palm Springs Black Student Union, and the Rancho Mirage Black Student Unions. We all have Instagram pages. We've all been posting lots of Black history facts and information right there at your device.
All right. Thank you so much. I need to get the names of those people. Be blessed. We got some happy days coming.
Sophia.
Thank you, Yamonica, way out in Memphis. Thank you, Tristan and Miss Nicole. Thank you, Lauren. Oh, you look fabulous, Lauren. Go ahead. Thank you, Miss Pettis Chica. Miss Everett, we love you as usual. Thank you, Devin. Devin Irvin, I got you.
Bye, guys.
Emma wanted us to take a yearbook picture.
Okay, who was the Vanessa? Who? Vanessa Siquiero. Vanessa.
Their hair is pretty good.
Vanessa, give me your 131 number. Cheyenne, you did awesome. Thank you. Miss Yamonica, thank you so much. I love you.
Everyone.
Thank you, cousin. Thank you,
All
Miss
right.
Jackson.
Bye.
Miss Vanessa, bye, love, bye, Cheyenne. Y'all go take a nap. I know y'all are tired. Thank you.
Is Emma still in here? I can tell her that I have some photos that I can share with her.
I was trying to find her in the chat. It's Emma Vasquez. I was going to tell her.
Right here. Hi.
Hi. She wanted a picture for the yearbook, but we've got some, don't we?
Yeah. So maybe you can you email the request to jba@psusd and I'll respond with a photo of the group.
PSUSD?
Yes. JBA@psusd.